This is your humble salt. In India, this humble salt has only one name, Tata Salt, owned by Tata Consumer Products. Tata Consumer Product not just owns Tata Salt, but it operates India's leading tea, cereal, and coffee brands. So, what makes Tata Consumer Products a not so conventional FMCG company? Welcome to Stepwise. This is the economics of Tata Consumer Products. In our daily life, somewhere we have encountered a Tata Consumer brand and probably even buy it. From Tata Tea, Tata Sampan's Organic Pulses to Soulful Cereals, even Starbucks, we have seen or used these brands. If we go in the history, Tata Consumer Products is not too old. It was incorporated by Tata Group in 2020. Strange, given Tata Salt has been in existence forever. Well, Tata Consumer was actually formed by merging Tata Global Beverages with Tata Chemicals consumer business. Historically, majority of these brands in Tata Consumer's portfolio are acquired. And if we tear down its strategy layer by layer, we understand why Tata Consumer is doing what it is doing. As we deep dive, we need to understand before investing in any company, we must at least review it from three lenses. The first lens is of competitive advantage. Tata Consumers adapts itself to changing market trends very well. If we analyze some of the major acquisition, we understand the same. In early 2000s, it acquired Tetley, while international expansion and supply chain played big role. One trend was to grow Tata Tea at home and hit upon India's growing craze for foreign brands in tea flavors. It was also the time when green tea was just picking up the craze and dip tea was seeing adoption in India. In late 2000s, as millennials started venturing out of their homes, Tata understood the growth of mineral water consumption and acquired Himalayan mineral water, strategically putting the brand in the cinemas as well as malls. In 2012, understanding the depth of millennials' mall culture, travel, and their coffee craze, Tata brought Starbucks in India. In 2021, again, understanding millennials and Gen Z's health craze, Tata acquired Kotam Agro's soulful millet-based cereal brand and marked the entry in the on-the-table, on-the-go category. Not only acquisitions, but it also understands technology and current generation's tech obsession also very well. Tata Consumer has a lot of focus on Tata digital innovation, and this can be seen in their strategic decisions, like they picked up the D2C craze, which is direct to consumer, and ventured into the TataNutriCorner.com. Tata's acquired the stake in country's biggest online grocery delivery app, Big Basket, and Tata Consumer immediately jumped on to build a strategic partnership, bringing all of its product closer to the consumers. And in fact, as a majority of millennials started buying online, they started pushing Tata Sampan and Soulful, which are health-oriented brands, a lot through such apps. Tata Starbucks replicated its mobile-first reward program model in India, which saw 18% growth last year. While it simplifies customer engagement, it also brings upfront money for Tata Starbucks. In fact, it's touted as a digital bank. But have these competitive advantages turned into anything tangible? This is where we look into the second lens of financial growth. Their revenue grew by 20% and profit before tax grew by 24% in last financial year. Segment wise, majority of the revenue still comes from the beverages segment, which includes Tata Tea. In quarter 3 of 2022, their net profit jumped by 22.2% and expense rose by 1.5%. While these financials are good, they are often impacted, and this is where we look into the third lens, the growth challenges. Typical to any FMCG, Tata Consumer also faces challenges from private labels. Lots of retail stores have their own brands with almost equal quality, which gives them stiff competition. Another challenge is the international growth. Tata Consumer's internationally operated brand do not show exponential growth. In fact, one of the strategy that they are following is to consolidate their non-core international operations. Finally, commodity prices. For any FMCG as a sector, it is impacted a lot by commodity raw materials, and same goes for Tata Consumers too. But even with these challenges, the growth story is consistent, and it will be good to see how the company maintains it in future. Now it's time for Stepwise Gyan. On Stepwise Gyan, we want to highlight how Tata Consumer's share price has been performing since last year. It saw 23% growth in last 1 year with 52-week high of 889 rupees. Its PE is more than 80, and we believe that the current price could be higher than its intrinsic value. If we look at mutual fund exposure, it has exposure to 60 plus mutual funds, with Tata India Consumer leading the way with 5.06% exposure. There are few exchange traded funds as well, like ICICI Midcap, which have higher exposure of 6.06%. So that's the economics of Tata Consumers. If you like the video, please don't forget to like, share and subscribe.